making his way to the ring, defending the title for the first time as a full champion is Alberto Puello. He is 23-0 with 10 knockouts, and there is Sandor Martin. He's waited 13 years and 45 pro fights to finally get this, his first chance at a championship. Let's go to our main man, Jimmy Lennon Jr. for the official introductions.
Ladies and gentlemen, from Barclays Center here in Brooklyn, New York, Premier Boxing Champions presents this world title attraction in the super lightweight division, and it's brought to you by GTD Promotions and TGB Promotions in association with Schwann Boxing, Top Rank Incorporated, and OPI since 1982. Sponsored by DraftKings Sportsbook, the crown is yours. This bout is sanctioned by the WBC. The president is Mauricio Sulaiman. Introducing to you our three judges scoring the action from ringside. We have from New Jersey, Mark Constantino. From Oklahoma, David Sutherland. And from Connecticut, Don Trello. Our third man of the ring, the referee in charge, Ricky Gonzalez. All right, fans, here we go. 12 rounds of boxing for the WBC Super Lightweight Championship of the World. Introducing to you first on my left, fighting out of the red corner, wearing red trunks with black trim, joining us from Barcelona, Spain. He weighed in at 139.2 pounds. With a record of 42 wins, 3 losses. He has 15 wins coming by way of knockout. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the crafty European super lightweight champion and the battle-tested world-ranked southpaw contender, introducing Sandor Martin. His opponent across the ring is the defending world champion. Fighting out of the blue corner, wearing black trunks with gold trim, hailing from San Juan de la Maguana in the Dominican Republic. He weighed in at 139.2 pounds. He is undefeated in his campaign in the professional ranks with a record of 23 wins, no losses, 10 wins, coming by way of knockout. Tonight he is making the first defense of his title. Please welcome the undefeated WBC Super Lightweight Champion of the World, Alberto La Avispa Puello. Once again, a referee in charge is Ricky Gonzalez, now to give instructions.
Ya te di las reglas en el camerino. Protéjase todo el tiempo y obedece sus órdenes todo el tiempo. Pero aguante.
Referee Ricky Gonzalez assigned to this championship fight for Puello. First fight in New York, 5-0 in scheduled 12-round fights, has gone the distance in his last 5 fights. While for Sandor Martin, yeah, he knows that southpaw versus southpaw matchups are a rare breed, but he is ready to make it a very uncomfortable night for Puello. And he sees Puello's strengths, the distance, the reach, the strong mentality, but Martin feels that his own speed and high-level IQ will be the difference, and he says Puello's biggest weapon, his trainer, Ismael Silas. And of course for Puello, he is also led by his trainer, and Rafael Martin, the father of Sandor Martin, is his trainer. And that, of course, you know, they were growing up in Spain where he had to wait, actually, to become a real bona fide combat sports athlete, mixed a lot of sports up, started in kickboxing and Muay Thai at 18, decided to commit to boxing, and as we mentioned, he's waited a long time for this opportunity, wants to make the most of it tonight, does Sandor Martin.
These two southpaws, they can be known at times for being spoilers. They can disarm their opponents, take away what they do great. To see them opening up, trading shots in the center of the ring, that's a good sign moving forward.
It really is a good sign.
Yep.
And it's Martin who is pushing Puello back. I like that lead hand.
Yeah, Martin isn't usually about volume, Abner. He's about efficiency, lands at 32% clip and connects on 45% of his power shots. But then when you talk power, only 15 knockouts and 42 wins for Martin. And for Puello, only 10 knockouts and 23 wins. And that's why at the top of the telecast, Brian, I asked you about the technical nuances and about the fact that purists would love to see this display of sweet science, although again, an aggressive start by both.
No question. And while we can talk about Puello's consistency of late of going to the scorecards, he did say one thing about his best punch when asked about his uppercut this week. My uppercut is devastating. Let's see if Puello, who says he's much more comfortable against southpaws than he believes Martin is, let's see if we can get the upper hand with that.
Puello shocked the odds, pulling off the split decision upset over the then undefeated Gary Antoine Russell. He said his counter-punching was the key to becoming a two-time titleist at 140 pounds. Russell, of course, will challenge Jose Valenzuela in our next fight for another piece of the crown at 140. And forget about the filling up process here with less than a minute left in the first. These two proponents of the sweet science, they're ready to get a little savage.
Yeah, Martin became really aggressive and ate a left hand by Puello, but I mean that's the style that Martin has to do. He can't box the boxer in Puello, so that's why he's putting in that pressure. He's trying to corner Puello into the ropes.
Martin conceded. Puello good with distance, has a great reach, strong mentality. Southpaw against southpaw. You wonder about that battle. There's that left hand, but it's Martin putting the pressure on Puello. Puello countering with the right hook, missing wildly with the left. Oh, Martin puts the pressure but doesn't throw the punches.
Vamos, Puello.
Come on, let's go.
Sí. Quítale el protector de boca, esta mierda.
Get the mouthpiece out. Get the mouthpiece out.
Toma agua.
Drink some water.
Puello, como que te desesperaste un poquito la amenaza.
You got a little bit anxious. You got desperate.
Te desesperaste un poquito. Es importante que te mantengas siempre con la mano adelante. Es muy importante.
It's really important to keep the hands up.
Porque le está metiendo bien el gancho de derecha.
You landed that left hand, that right hand. And then land the left.
Pero esa
throw the hook, throw the hook.
Párate en el centro del ring.
Get in the center of the ring.
Oíste la amenaza.
You hear that? Amenaza?
In
the center of the ring and give him that body shot.
Salas has had 2 coaching stints with Puello, the latest beginning in December 2023. They're 2-0, and he's now a champion. And for Martin, his father, a Rafa boxing coach from day one. The gym in Barcelona was Martin's second home. At just 5 years old, he told his dad, I'm going to be a world champion. Like my dad, he had his doubts, but Martin never did. And here Sandor is on the cusp of becoming a champion at 140 pounds, but has to solve the riddle. That is Alberto Puello. Good counter right hand by Martin.
And that's one thing, Mauro. He's known to solve the puzzle, the riddle. Martin, I mean, let's not forget, he retired Mikey Garcia.
4-division champ.
Yes, he gave Teofimo Lopez a really close fight. Dropped Lopez, and a lot of people thought Martin won that fight.
Absolutely.
So yeah, you look at Teofimo Lopez, he's got a piece of the crown. Richardson Hitchens, we see Jose Valenzuela, who'll defend the title against Gary Antoine Russell coming up. So lots going on at 140 as this fight continues to warm up. Round number 2, a minute gone. Puello along the ropes, trying to set the trap. Martin not biting. Double jab by Puello.
Here's what's interesting. Puello told us in the fighter meetings he thought that he was going to be the one that was going to have to come forward and make this an exciting fight. It's actually Sandor Martin who has controlled the center of the ring, set the terms, set the pace, maybe a little out of character from what we've seen at times.
Yes.
But this is the biggest fight in his life, and we know how long he's been waiting for this opportunity.
When you have been waiting that long, trust me, you want to go out there and perform. You want to let your hands go, and that's what Martin is doing in this fight. Well, not so much letting his hands go, but putting that pressure and getting Puello uncomfortable.
There's mental pressure, physical pressure in boxing, and Martin goes to the body with that left hand, an overhand right by, nice counter right by Puello, and things opening up here now with 1:10 left in the second round.
These southpaws heating up beautifully, countering each other, figuring out each other's tells at close range. nice output as well from both fighters.
Yeah, I like when Martin gets in, he lets his punches go, and right away he gets out of trouble.
Final minute here in the second. Puello wanting to establish the jab, using it as a blind rangefinder, and then dropping the right hand, chopping left hand from the southpaw Puello.
There's that jab from Puello.
Step jab by Puello. Martin, good defensive instincts. Pulling his head back. Puello again on the ropes. But Martin respecting him.
It's interesting here, as Puello accused Martin of running against Teofimo Lopez and said, you can't win world championships that way. Yet it was Martin who told us he doesn't believe Puello has the same heart as him. So he believes he can suffer more in the fight, take more punishment if needed, and come out on top. I like the way that they are setting an aggressive pace here.
Good left uppercut by Martin, and watching tape on Martin, he puts on a lot more pressure than people give him credit for.
Muy bien.
They hit me in the eye, I see double. You okay? He hit me with the right hand. Give me a massage in my eye, my left eye. There you go.
That's his right.
Relax, relax, I gotta recuperate my eye.
Remember Hector Luis Garcia against Gervonta Davis, that double vision cost him that fight, and early trouble here for Martin.
No, meter el primero, se te va. Empieza por el segundo, ¿vale?
Wow.
Yeah.
After just 2 rounds, and Abner, you can speak to how concerning it is with your issues of eye injuries throughout your
that
career.
I've suffered, yeah. I don't know if he got poked in the eye, whatever the issue was. He is seeing double right now, Martin, he said.
Round number 3, and we will continue to monitor that situation. Martin coming out a little more aggressive, trying to bring the battle to Puello.
Well, you know, for covering mixed martial arts for years.
I've done that for a few years.
Sometimes you get 2 accomplished wrestlers in the cage.
Yes.
They end up canceling
In a sloppy
out
kickboxing
and
match.
letting the hands go. These 2 obviously are ring technicians, but to bring the fight to one another with the title on the line here, I like how neither is leaving anything to chance.
Brian, can you shed some light on that? Maybe not the venue for it right now. 30 seconds plus gone here in round 3, and we've got Puello, who obviously doesn't know what Martin told his corner, but Martin not fighting like a guy who's seeing double. He's
Definitely
right in
not.
there.
He's definitely trying to hit the man in the middle. But he's doing good, Martin. He's fighting smart. He's putting the smart pressure. He's not giving Puello anything. He goes in, throws his punches, and gets out.
The feints by Martin with the jab. Puello just smothering him.
I tell you, Martin does not look like a fighter who's been idle for 442 days coming into this one.
And the only reason he's been idle is because I'm not giving up the title shot that I've waited so long for. And you talk about the machinations. Devin Haney won the first bid. Haney no longer here now at 140, moving up to 147. And so Martin said, nah, I'd rather just bide my time. Thank you very much.
He's already been through the step-aside money he received so that Haney and Garcia could fight last April. Now is his moment. Now is his time.
Yeah, it helps when you get a 6-figure step aside. There's the body work by Puello. Now has Martin on the ropes. Uppercut on the inside. Uppercut from Martin. And
yeah, that's where you don't want to be good, Martin. You got to get out of the ropes. You know about the sneaky uppercut that Puello has.
Martin is sitting down on every
final minute. Good counter by Puello, but Martin sitting down on the right hooks and repeatedly landing those lead right hooks going to the body. 45 seconds left here in the 3rd.
That was a good exchange.
Not known
right
for
there.
their power, but a great exchange.
Puello probably got the best of that exchange, but again, Martin came back and threw his own as well.
30 seconds now left in the 3rd, measuring each other up, feinting, looking for counterattacks, always for Puello.
These 2 so evenly matched.
Yes.
It's why those betting odds were basically a pick 'em for both title fights.
And what you want in a title fight.
Exactly.
Final 10 seconds now of the 3rd round. Another very even round, much more so than what we saw in round 2 when Puello really threw more punches but didn't land enough. Martin immediately goes to the body of Puello to begin round 4.
Right away with that aggression, Martin, body shots, the placement of the punches, and again, getting away from harm's way.
Martin with an edge. In total, body shots landed, although Puello had better success in the opening round. Puello again along the ropes, but using that jab and trying to find a way to keep Martin's pressure at bay, but Martin continues to put that pressure on.
Puello settling into more of a counter-punching role. He does have a very effective and quick overhand left, but you saw Martin pick that up early, step aside, and then come back and land.
Yeah, counter-punching was key against Gary Antoine Russell. Counter-punching has been key throughout Puello's career.
Yeah, well, Martin is applying smart pressure, and that's why he's not being able to get caught by Puello. He's dictating the pace with that jab. He's not letting Puello get off with his own jab.
Body work by Martin. He's counter upstairs by Puello. Puello utilizing the footwork, turning Martin.
I'm impressed right now with Martin because we were talking about the styles that he's faced in Tio and Mikey and now Puello, and he's being able to adapt to all of them and fight good.
You learn a few things heading into your 46th professional bout. Minute now left in the 4th. Martin utilizing a lot of evasive tactics in this round, more footwork. Puello trying to swim underneath, goes to the body, pattering shots.
These are becoming very difficult rounds to judge.
Yes.
Due to their similar output, they're throwing and landing often at the same time, punching with each other.
Similar output, and yes, Martin in this round a bit more accuracy, landing more punches than Puello, but again, very hard to judge overall. 30 seconds left.
Depends on what the judges are seeing. The guy that's pushing you back, or the guy that's landing.
Nice counter again by Puello, and Martin lands. Martin throws a 1-2 there. Double jab, left hand by Puello, but again, more of a range fighter, not doing a lot of damage. A lot of feinting. Economical output so far.
Si no, tranquilo.
Relax,
si no puede retroceder, entonces sigue para adelante. Pero tiene que... No, tranquila.
No, relax.
Tiene que seguir con tu mano adelante.
You have to lead. You have to control with the lead hand.
Con la mano adelante.
Lead hand.
Le mete la voz abajo duro. ¿Me entiendes?
Throw the jab downstairs.
Ya, no hable más.
Don't talk more.
Sí. Oíste.
You hear me?
Ciérralo bien, métesela bien duro.
Let's close it. Let's close it. The left hand to the body.
Límpiate conmigo.
Clean yourself with me.
Con tu mano adelante, con guapería ya para adelante.
Lead hand, go forward.
As we begin round 5, Martin, he holds a 4-1 record against southpaws, but his last lefty showdown against Anthony Yiggett way back in 2017 ended in a unanimous decision loss. The key takeaway, Martin can roll when needed. In that fight, he displayed that, but again, suffering one of his 3 setbacks, but has bided his time, has waited his turn, looking to make the most of his first title opportunity here tonight, digging away to the body, then going upstairs.
That's what Martin told us. He believes he does have an advantage on the infighting, and he's certainly been taking the lead often, targeting that body of Puello and bringing the fight to him.
You see a little bit of frustration, too, from Puello. He's been missing a lot, and he's not getting in rhythm. And that's where his corner told him, all right, it's time to push forward.
Larry Hazard, our unofficial scorer, has Martin up by 2.
Nice 1-2 there for Martin.
Martin goes to the body, but now Puello delivers a combination. Not delivering a lot of combos. And
Not delivering
needs
a
to,
lot.
I was going to say, needs to deliver the jab.
And the uppercut, which was his punch that he thought
Yes.
would be the important one in this fight.
He has been muted.
Yeah, he has that left as an uppercut and as a body shot to the solar plex. Speaking of Puello.
A minute and a half gone here in the 5th.
I think what's interesting here is Puello is normally the puzzle that is difficult for his opponents to solve. He's the one that's, at least the last couple rounds, chasing Martin more, trying to find avenues of offense. How many times, though, do you get back-to-back 140-pound title fights? All 4 fighters are southpaws.
Deceleration in the offense of Martin here in the 5th round. Good round for Puello. But Martin still, again, maybe not throwing as much, but still landing his fair share of shots.
Yeah, he's definitely using Puello's own aggression for his benefit and waiting for him to get in and make him pay.
He's also trying to sell, you would think, to the judges. Each time Puello misses, Martin able to sort of shake his head, give him a little smirk.
Someone's got to lead the dance. 10 seconds left in the 5th. Puello goes to the body, pot shot. Yep, the uppercut has been MIA for Puello.
Good, good.
No, 5.
How many rounds? 5, 6?
El
No,
que empiece el 6.
this is going to be the 6th.
¿Vale?
Okay?
Muy bien.
How are we
¿Vale?
doing? Really good.
Pero piensa que es el campeón, hay que hacer un poquito más, ¿vale?
Remember,
Está ganando los
these
asaltos,
championship
pero
fights.
ajustadamente. Hay que intentar ganarlos más claro,
We need
¿vale?
to win clear rounds.
Para ello tienes que hacer una cosa. En los cuerpo a cuerpo métele la derecha abajo, ¿de acuerdo? Es decir, desde adelante, aquí.
When
ese
you're
es el paso que hemos
in the
trabajado.
inside body work.
Sí. Venga.
We're going to see a replay of what we were talking about, Brian, when he made a miss and you said no, you didn't catch me. Nothing happened here.
Little sell, little embellishment there for the judges.
And he doesn't have to sell too much because Puello's only landing 23% of his punches, guys.
Yeah, Martin looking like a confident fighter right now.
Well, one thing that's interesting is Martin, outside of defeating and retiring Mikey Garcia, really made his name with how good he fought in defeat against Teofimo Lopez. But Martin wanted to remind us, he broke his nose in the opening round against Lopez on a headbutt. That affected his performance in a big way.
Broke his nose in that fight. In this fight, he was seeing double. I mean, the guy can adjust. Definitely.
There's a 1-2 from the southpaw Martin that lands. Puello, a lot of feinting, trying to get the jab going, but Martin utilizing good footwork, movement, not allowing Puello any opportunity to really establish any type of rhythm.
He's put Puello in the spot where Puello has to be the counterpuncher, and he doesn't look as comfortable in that role as he does coming forward.
Right. He usually does. Left uppercut on the inside. Nice body shot by Martin. Physically,
I feel like Puello's getting a little bit more comfortable in this round. He's pushing Martin back. He's still eating body shots, yeah.
Martin's ability to upper trunk movement, to slide and avoid these shots and counter is impressive.
minute and a half gone here in the 6th, so midway point of the fight. Left uppercut on the break by Puello, a rarity. The body work continues to be effective. Nice counter right hook by Puello. leans in on Martin, doesn't give himself distance to continue to administer his offense.
Now the smart fighter there is Martin. I think he's the one trying to lean in. There it is again. Not trying to give Puello anything. The taller fighter has the reach, and how do you smother his offense? By getting in close.
Great point. Puello does such a good job from mid-range, getting good extension. He has those long arms. Maybe not known as a one-punch power guy, but he can certainly surprise you with those left hands.
And yet Martin continues to close the distance, clinching, disrupting Puello.
Yeah, Martin, he's either too far or too close for Puello. Fighting really smart.
Puello tries to land the lead right hook, but misses. Martin's hands down. Puello not capitalizing and not making, well, there's a nice straight left and a right from Puello. Smart fight by the Spaniard, Sandor Martin, Shushan. And proceedings here. It's incredible the craft
that he brings.
Amen. Their strategy at work every single second. He's setting a trap every single second of every round. And yes, we've seen the familiar patterns that develop, but method to the madness, and he's great at exploiting patterns. Just ask Leo Santa Cruz, went to that right hand once too often and paid for it with the left uppercut from Hades, the 2020 knockout of the year. Will we see a knockout in this title fight?
I doubt it. I doubt it, but it's entertaining.
Question. Halfway through, we got our unofficial scorer, Larry Hazard, with Martin comfortably ahead.
One thing to note, Martin did have a little trickle of blood coming from his nose at the end of last round. You can see that starting again this round.
But I'm just amazed, honestly. I mean, the time that he's been out. Speaking of Martin, you know, he does not seem like he's off rhythm. The timing's there. He feels so relaxed. I mean, every trick in the book. How he steps in too close, he gets in too far, and when he's in the inside, he rips to the body. Really smart from Martin.
And he took command from the opening yell of this fight. Weathered the storm.
We didn't think that was going to happen.
Weathered a bit of a storm as they exchanged in the first two rounds, and he's really settled in as the leader, bringing the fight to Puello.
Minute and a half gone in the seventh. The dance continues. Puello feinting. There's a double jab, but doesn't deliver the left. And immediately they clinch.
Let's not forget, Puello's not an easy fighter to fight or to win a fight against. And Martin, look, right now, is making it look easy.
Minute now remains here in the seventh. Puello's winning the jab battle. Martin comfortably ahead when it comes to power punches and body shots, and has the advantage, but just barely in terms of total punches landed. So still very competitive, but Martin is the one that is setting the terms of this fight.
And don't forget, the opening 4 rounds did feel like they could have gone either way, so no idea who's this far ahead officially at this point, although we've certainly liked the work of Martin lately. But after, Puello's got to be able to get a little distance, get a little extension on those shots.
Yeah, no, he's got to let his hands go. He's got to dictate the pace by throwing his jabs. His lead hand, like his corner's been asking, push him back. Start that reach, that distance, there it is, and throw your bolo punch, the uppercut, the body shot.
And there an aggressive Puello with the left. Martin, countered. Martin's head snapped back from that right from Puello at the end of round 7. But coming up immediately next is round number 8 of this 140-pound title affair. Oh, right hook by Puello, and Puello sitting down on that left hand.
Well, Puello has certainly had enough of the dictation of the terms of Martin in the last few rounds.
The Wasp wants to prove, yeah, he's still got some sting in those punches.
I wonder how it is mentally for Puello. He's always been the guy who makes you miss, who makes you uncomfortable, and now it's him.
Great counter punches from Martin. 3 left hands landed, just missed with the left uppercut. And on the inside, it's all Martin.
Puello still pawing with that jab.
No, it's just every time that Martin gets in the inside, he breaks to the body, he works the uppercuts, and then he gets out. Does not give Puello a chance to let his hands go.
Rolling affair on the inside with all the clinching. And,
although this has been somewhat of an even round, this is as aggressive we've seen Puello in a while in this fight.
Yeah, I think the urgency is noticeable now from Puello. He's trying to let those guys go. He's trying to get these rounds in the bank.
Body shot by Martin, puts together the combination. Puello flashes the jab. They're leaning in, they're punching, but yeah, we need to see more of those exchanges. There need to be punches on the exit. They're just sapping each other's energy, but they got to make it count when they're in close. There, Martin holding the body, good counter right by Puello.
Yeah, it's every time he beats him to the punch, Martin, he's just better. And he's fast.
I mean, Martin has better head movement at this range than Puello, and that's been a big part of his success.
30 seconds left. Puello eats that lead left uppercut from Martin. The defensive moves of Martin on display. Puello walking forward, but again, he needs to work from distance. Long range, establish that jab. And there it is.
I couldn't agree more.
And see, at times, he's the one who's walking in there and not smothering his offense for really nothing, it seems.
Good.
Hay que seguir así.
Just keep going like that.
Entonces, lo que no puedes hacer es
Okay, what you
sufres
can't
para
do
pegarle,
is
¿de acuerdo? Y luego se te duerme el ritmo. No.
the rhythm. Don't fall asleep with the rhythm. No.
Empezamos a hacer agua, esta de la nuca. Venga. Nuca.
And we're gonna see the left hand exchange, a beautiful exchange right here from both sides, but it was Puello who got the best, the inside work, and here comes that left hand.
Both talked about their counterpunching being key in this fight. And again, they immediately closed the distance.
But like you said, it's Puello who does it.
Yeah, and he's not allowing his offense to get on track because of it. And meanwhile, Martin's shoe shot in the body. Side headlock employed by Martin. Nice counter right there by Martin. Martin much busier.
Even when Puello counters clean on the inside, it's always after 2 to 3 to 4 punches from Martin.
Yeah.
The physicality from Martin, just very comfortable in there, trying to push Puello around, leaning on him.
Puello is closing the gap on Larry Hazard's unofficial scorecard.
Yeah, we talked about those close rounds. I mean, I thought Martin made that last round,
but it was close. Yeah. In fact, Puello did throw more, but didn't land as much, and that's really been the key. There's the uppercut on the inside, and another uppercut on the inside by Puello. That one missed. So Puello throwing more, but it's Martin that's landing more.
Yeah, that right hook has been landing really good for Puello.
At that left hand misses, and the counter right from Martin lands. Puello just smothering the offense, trying to get in, but not. Has had moments with the uppercut, but not leading with the uppercuts to open up that lane to get in, to make it easier for him, Brian.
Also not leading consistently with the jab to set up that uppercut. Has really found a home as the counterpuncher, but you do have to be mindful of your output in that sense.
Final minute of the ninth. And similar pattern to many of the rounds. Martin just outlanding Puello by a couple of punches. Puello throwing more in that close quarters. Good defense here by Puello, but along the ropes, Martin keeps him there.
A lot of missed shots there from Martin, but again, it's him who's putting the pressure.
And the body work has been a big point of the attack for Martin, hoping to sap the strength of the defending champion.
Martin currently nearly doubling the total output of body punches landed to Puello.
Final 10 seconds of the ninth. Body shot by Puello, single shot.
We're good, we're good. Very good, Puello.
Dame la cubeta.
Give me the bucket.
Toma agua.
Drink some water.
Ahora voy.
Put some water on the head.
Puello, tú sabes,
Puello.
que tú estás trabajando muy poco los open.
You know you're not working that much.
Y el gancho de derecha tuyo, cuando tú estés en los clinch, le mete el gancho doble
That right
arriba.
hook when you're
Ya
in
no
the
le
clinch.
tire la de Chicho. No la tire más. Sí, tú no te
Let's
vayas
look
para
back
atrás.
at the action in round 9. We talked earlier about Sandor Martin embellishing some of the missed shots from Puello by smiling, shaking his head. Here's a situation where the counter right hook of Puello landed inside. Martin giving him the respect, saying, yeah, you got me good here, but let's see what happens next.
And that's a right hook that the coach was asking for, Ismael Salas.
Round number 10 scheduled for 12. Alberto Puello, a two-time titleist at 140, defending the title for the first time of his second reign against Sandor Martin, who's been the long-time mandatory challenger, waiting 30 years, 45 fights to get this crack. Wants to become the 15th champion to emerge from Spain in the first since Kiko Martinez 3 years ago. Body shot by Martin, misses with the left, chopping right by Puello. But there, and now the referee breaks him up. I'm just really wondering about these unnecessary clinches.
Oh, you say unnecessary. It's a big part of Martin's strategy.
Not when Puello's the one leading the clinch and not throwing any punches, guys. I'm sorry.
No, I think that's Martin's game plan, to be in the inside.
Oh, it is. But Puello, you guys wanting to use the long-range jab, how often are you seeing that?
You're not.
You're not. Thank you.
And you're not seeing it again because Martin is putting that pressure. He's getting in too close. Look, he's smothering his offense by doing that right there.
There's a double right from Puello, but again, just wrestles, grapples, pummels with Martin on the inside.
A quick, short right hook from Puello has become his best punch in recent rounds, whether he's countering or in that sequence leading with it. Constant clinching continuing here.
Just over a minute remains here in the 10th. A minute plus away from those pivotal championship rounds. Uppercuts on the inside.
3 of them from Puello. That's what we've been asking for.
You're right. If you're going to close the gap, regardless of who's initiating it, throw those punches. Both of them have great uppercuts. But Puello's more effective. There's some action. And see, when Martin opened up, immediately countered by Puello.
Yeah, after Martin landed a nice flurry, the clean punch from Puello. But again, we knew that if someone was going to make an uncomfortable, ugly fight, it was going to be Martin, and that's what he's doing. And that's the way he wins fights.
Fighters have been separated by more than 3 landed punches in just 1 of the 9 rounds fought, so it's going to be a tough one to start.
No question about it. It feels like Martin has controlled the action a little bit better at times, but Puello has been there to counter him a lot of the times, each step of the way. So I don't feel like either fighter ever can feel like the fight is truly in their favor at this point.
Yeah, I believe the corner's thinking like you as well. I'm sure the corner's going to tell him you got to close these rounds.
Championship rounds are here. Who wants the championship more? All right, this is it. Championship rounds begin. Round number 11. Adjustments you want to see Puello make here in the final 2 rounds, BC?
Well, first and foremost, control that middle distance a little bit better. Don't settle for the clinch. Look to get a little more extension. But if not, let your hands go, and we're certainly seeing that from Puello early.
Abner, what does Martin have to do a better job of in order to finally win that championship for Spain again?
Yeah, I mean, in order to win these rounds clearly, let the hands go as well. Flurries, don't stay in too close, and just have fun in there. I think that's what Martin has been doing this entire fight.
Referee Ricky Gonzalez largely letting him work in through these extended
We haven't seen him.
punches.
We haven't seen him all night.
But again, we talked about that. Oh, that body shot hurt! That body shot hurt Martin! Yep. The offense is smothered.
A little momentum.
Yes, exactly. It's interesting because he did land it. At this, Puello is landing effectively when he gives himself the space. And I know what you've said, Abner, about Martin being part of the reason, but it just seems like Puello not utilizing that ring IQ like we expect him to.
We don't know him by. Yeah, you're right.
Now again, establish the jab midway through the 11th.
I just feel like Puello never found his rhythm, never found his pace, never got into that comfortable, movement that we're used to seeing Puello.
Just over a minute left in the 11th, and while chronicling the goings-on in this fight, it is those 3 judges at ringside who, if this goes the distance, will have, I believe, an unenviable task of adjudicating because, yes, the CompuBox numbers only tell part of the story, but they have been within 3 punches landed in 9 of the 10 rounds so far. There's only a separation of 3 punches with last guys. I mean, unbelievable.
And even though we've been frustrated at times by Puello's decision-making, when he does land these corner shots, they're the cleaner punches.
Yes, they are.
More often than not. And what's the first criteria? Clean and effective.
Punching. As clean as a line. 15 seconds left here in the 11th. Nice defense there by Puello, but didn't make him pay. Made a miss, didn't make him pay. 12th and final round is here. Will Puello successfully defend his title? Will Martin head back to Spain, campeón?
3 minutos.
3 minutes.
3 minutos a serie.
3 minutes.
3 minutos.
3 minutes.
Sí. ¿Oíste?
Yes. You hear me?
Mírame, cojones, 3 minutos para
3 minutes. Give me shots. Let the punches go.
Viste que le está metiendo López arriba.
You saw the uppercut landing?
Father-son team in Martin's corner.
Toda tu vida esperándolo.
This whole life you've been waiting for this. You gotta let it
arriba y a trabajar.
Hands up and work.
Father knows best. And in case you missed it, 3 minutos left in this fight.
He only said it like 3 times.
I see why he's saying it. I know what the message he was trying to convey. 3 minutes could could be left in your title reign if you don't keep it going here, kid.
Martin has already listened, jumping all over Puello to start it here.
And according to Larry Hazard, our unofficial scorer, Puello will need to score his 11th knockout in order to retain the title. Again, that's unofficial.
The package down or two could get a little dramatic here, but let's see who can finish stronger, who can make that statement to close what feels like a very close battle.
And again, you imagine what Sandor Martin to wait as long as he has. Yeah, you got paid, you got, you know, but this is why you do this. This is why you're a 3-division champion. There's nothing better than being on a pay-per-view in New York City, first title fight, a chance to really live out your dreams. And now 2 minutes left. Can Martin do it, or will Puello hang on and return to the Dominican champion, the first Dominican to win a title at 140 pounds.
Well, Martin looking really comfortable in this last round, not trying to close, trying to keep it clean. Fight from the outside, letting Puello dictate the fight.
Nice uppercut. Sorry, Brian.
You wonder if that's the type of strategy Martin
you don't,
will regret.
Well, I was going to say, actually, now with 1.5 minutes left, you go back and watch the tape. There are many moments here in this fight, guys, where I'm sure, especially Puello's going to be going, what was I thinking here? But having said all of that, this is, I don't know who's winning this fight. I have a feeling.
I've got Martin slightly ahead of my car for whatever that means.
I agree, but
where those close frames early on, a few scattered in between for sure.
A minute left now. Can anyone make a definitive statement? Neither known for their knockout power. But the stage is set here on one of the biggest stages in the sport.
Cut around the right eye of Martin.
And he has been cut several times in his career, so that scar tissue is there for the ripping open.
It was lucky to happen in the last round.
30 seconds left. But again, Puello storming Martin instead of utilizing that long reach, the jab. It's an interesting strategy, and I wonder if it is going to end up paying off with 15 seconds left. It's going to come down to Mark Cosentino, David Sutherland, and Don Trella to determine who walks out of Barclays Center 140-pound titleist.
How are you, Sandor? Hi.
So before we let you get up there to interview the winners, just want to get your final. We're waiting for the scores, but everything we've seen, guys, right now, where do you stand with this fight? And who do you think's got this and why, Brian?
Well, I really thought Puello may have stolen a few of those late rounds just by picking up the output, landing the better counter shots. I feel like this one is completely up for grabs as we head to the scores.
It definitely is up for grabs, but I think Martin did enough to win the fight. He stole the early rounds, and even though the last round there was no urgency, I still believe he won the fight.
We'll take a look at the CompuBox numbers a little bit later, but the numbers do indicate that, well, actually, we're going to take a look right now. And again, they just tell a part of the story, and you see the power punches, clean, effective punching. But you look at the jabs, Puello's bread and butter. But again, power punches stand out to me.
No question about it. You see Puello, the busier fighter overall. Martin landing more shots at a better percentage, more better stats when it comes to those power shots, especially that 41% connects. But that jab did go to Puello. So as much as we were saying, we want Puello to jab more to control that center of the ring, he did double up the total jabs. This fight feels even.
Ismael Salas racing Puello. Sandor Martin coming to show his respects to his opponent's corner. Go 36 tough minutes for Martin. proudly representing Spain. Puello proudly representing the Dominican Republic. 31-year-old Sandor Martin came in with a 42-3 record. That's quite a lot of fights in order to wait for your first title shot, Mr. Campbell.
And it's been quite a long stretch of days, over 440 of them to get that first shot.
All right, Abner, let's take a look at what went down through 12 rounds.
Yeah, it was a really close fight with both fighters had their moments. Mainly Martin in the inside, the body work. Puello trying to get the rhythm going, the jab that we never saw, barely saw it there, but it was Martin pushing back. There's some jabs there from Puello, the right hand. The uppercut that he's known by. We didn't see many uppercuts land by Puello. There's one. Maybe we saw 3 or 4 in this fight from Puello land that uppercut, but never really hurt Martin.
The power punches of Martin, the jab of Puello. Who is walking out of Brooklyn champion? You know who has the answer? The one and only Jimmy Lennon Jr.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 12 rounds of action, we go to the scorecards with a split decision. Judge at ringside, Mark Constantino scores about 115-113 in favor of Sandor Martin. Judge at ringside, David Sutherland sees it 115-113 in favor of Alberto Puello. And judge at ringside, Don Trella, scores about 116-112 in favor of the winner and still champion Alberto La Avispa Puello.
Alberto Puello getting used to close encounters of the 140-pound kind for his second consecutive fight. He gets the decision via split decision.
Yeah.
For Sandor Martin, heartbreak.
Heartbreak city for Sandor Martin. This was a close fight. It felt like it could go either way.
Yes.
But to know his backstory, getting the wrong end of the stick against Teofimo Lopez in a fight that so many people thought he won, he pushed the pace. He came out as the aggressor. He didn't get his hand raised.
Yeah, I thought he did just slightly enough to get the win tonight. Martin, he was putting the pressure. He threw a lot more. But again, a really, really close fight, and it's really unfortunate for Martin.
Devastating setback for Sandor Martin. For Alberto Puello, escapes by the hair of his chinny chin chin, remains a titleist at 140 pounds.